To Red Bull Drift Shifters here in Liverpool. This is the last chance qualifiers. 6 drivers vying for 2 spots in the quarterfinals. We have just seen Fanger Dan Woolhouse, the New Zealander, bank a fabulous, let's take a look at that, 3.2 million on the scoreboard. There are 5 drivers left to go. Dean Kearney also got a 4.2 million there. Our top 6 drivers so far already into the quarterfinals are FORREST WANG, Gaz Whiter, Dardo from Lebanon, Dean Kearney, James Dean and Peter WIECEK. Then it's Masato Kawabata, FREDRIC AASBA and Mad Mike Whiddett alongside JOACHIM WAAGAARD and Matt Carter battling it out for those 2 spots. So the Norwegian JOACHIM WAAGAARD is about to drop in, driving the only European motor that we're going to see on this track today.
You say it's a European motor, but it has the heart of an American vehicle. So you being British, me being American, it's kind of a combination of all things. This is a juxtaposition, you know, just like Drift Shifters is, pinball meets drifting. You get the V8 under the hood of a BMW with a Norwegian at the helm.
I like to think that if fork lightning came down from the heavens and struck a pinball machine and a drift car at the same time, this is what would happen.
And that all came from Mad Mike's brain. So the forked lightning came from the Kiwi. Sweet A has just shocked him and created this thing. But it's awesome to be out here in Liverpool as we are now officially live across the globe. And it's awesome to be here with you, Ed.
Yep, we're in the shadow of the Royal Liver building here on Liverpool's waterfront. And we have our next driver ready to go. Let's see, I think this should be Matt Carter.
No, JOACHIM WAAGAARD.
Oh, it's the WAAGAARD,
This is JOACHIM WAAGAARD. Okay. As JOACHIM WAAGAARD will be coming out of the tunnel with the loud, this vehicle is super loud. He was struggling a little bit in practice, just getting the car together. Also is having some fuse issues. So shut it down about midway through the course, and actually a couple times. So a lot of points were left out there in practice, but now this is the acronym that is LCQ, the last chance qualifier.
Yeah, learned his trade on frozen lakes up in Sweden and Norway. In Norway you need government permission to drive on the lake, but in Sweden you just need the neighbours.
The JOACHIM WAAGAARD underneath that angle grider, 319,000 points. Now coming into that pier head wall ride. There are 6 sensors there. They're about a meter away.
And you saw that score jump up. He's collected the combo. He lit up all 6 lights, so there was 500,000 points for that.
Past that London telephone booth into the Undertaker. There are 5 sensors, 1 underneath and then 1 on each corner, 1.29. This car is loud, you can barely hear yourself think, but JOACHIM.
Thor himself has descended from the heavens and is hammering this course. It is an unbelievable noise.
This BMW M4 asking to stick it to the wall, and he does just that. We saw that earlier in practice, but takes a licking and keeps on ticking. 80,000 combo, that means he hit 3 of the 6. We've seen a lot of drivers hit the 6 in practice, but now he needs to do it, otherwise he is going to be watching from the sidelines.
And he went very, very light on that second pass, didn't get anywhere near enough out of the combo section there. He's got 40 seconds left, and he's going to need, I think, at least another 1.5 million out of this, and it looks like he's struggling at the moment. So second pass for the pierhead wall ride.
These final 6 drivers, these LCQ, we've already seen 2 drivers go through. They're only vying for 2 spots because the top 6 from our first qualifying runs are already sitting waiting to see who they're going to be doing battle against in the Grade 8. Look at that, 107,000 under that angle grinder, 3,207,471.
I think he was listening to me. He's gone absolutely berserk through here, but the combo isn't paying in there. You're only allowed 2 shots at the combo. The sensors will still give it to you, but you can't have that multiplier. Makes it into the box just a little bit too late, but very, very impressive drive. Redemption is there for JOACHIM WAAGAARD. The Norwegian gets a very strong score under his belt at the 3rd time of asking. BMW M4 took a little bit of a battering as well, didn't it?
Yeah, most definitely, and we'll see if that's enough because JOACHIM with that 3.367, we saw Fanger Dan with a 3.292, so we are trying to get into...
Well, he's beaten Fanger Dan Woolhouse, so that puts him into 3rd place. He's definitely out. Even though it was a good score, it was redemption. At the moment, we've got... it's Fanger Dan who's out. JOACHIM WAAGAARD is in 2nd, and we've got Dean Kearney in 1st. Next in, we got Matt Carter, Great Britain's finest, ready to go in that Lexus IS 200.
Matt Carter has championship accolades under his belt, but he seems to be struggling a bit here. The car is gripping up. You'll see, ideally, comes out really loose, goes underneath that angle grinder and throws it out. But we've seen the attitude of the car just really correct and straighten out in a few different spots throughout the course. He is just fresh off of that private jet from Poland, alongside that of Peter WIECEK and James Deane, who won Drift Masters last night. So those three drivers making their way from Poland to here today.
Yeah, it's a big ask for Matt Carter. We've talked about this a little bit. He is one of the lightest on horsepower in that car. Only 550, so he's got to wring every ounce of power out of this beast.
And Matt Carter through that angle grinder, now hitting. There's some sensors there. There's a proximity right at the tip there. And it sounds like it went off, but did not accumulate any points here. Now into that pier side wall ride.
He's really struggling to get the angle on the car, isn't he? Just not, that tail isn't hanging out far enough.
And truth be told, on that pierhead wall ride, those sensors are, you don't have to be as close as opposed to the George's Dock wall ride. Those are, you have to be within a foot.
But it's harder because it isn't a constant curve. It's like an ellipse. So actually measuring the car and positioning it properly is very, very difficult.
All right, now approaching, this is what we're calling the George's Dock wall ride. And there it is. You see him coming to a halt, not maintaining that angle as its sensors really having a tough time here. And when, I was going to say, if he's going to throw in reverse, that is not a good sign. Barely just outside the 1 million point mark. Things are not looking good for Matt Carter.
No, this one's done, I think. Well, this brings me straight back thinking about the Dodge Viper and what we heard from Dean Kearney on that one, because it's the power that you want in that tight space to be able to keep the wheels turning without the car moving.
Time's running out.
He says, you know what, I'm just going to park it.
Yeah.
He had 12 seconds left. That is a lot of time. And with a score of only 1,062,000, that's going to be the end of the day for Carter and his Jap Speed IS. So the lone British competitor really struggling with the course and the vehicle. A lot of grip there.
Okay, so as it stands at the moment, in the last chance qualifiers, so we've got 5 drivers here vying for that spot in the quarterfinals. We've got Kearney on just shy of 4.2 million, looking in control. Oh wow, that's it.
Yeah.
So maybe it was mechanical, maybe it wasn't just an issue about power.
You saw his body language. He was saying, I'm out, giving the universal, it's done. And then you saw his head kind of shaking within the cockpit of that vehicle. So that'll be all she wrote. And kind of insult to injury here. We'll not be seeing competition. Matt Carter having to be a human power as opposed to horsepower.
Okay, so next driver in will be Mad Mike Whiddett. This is his contest. The New Zealander driving the RX-8 Bad Bull. There are 3 cars that he has: the Bad Bull, the Rad Bull, and the Mad Bull. We've got the Bad Bull today, the RX-8, and it is, I mean, it's an impressive beast, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. I'm just trying to lay it all out here. We still have Kawabata after this as well. So Kawabata and Mad Mike, they are to go once again as well.
Or is it AASBA? I think it's FREDRIC AASBA.
Oh, you're right. It is AASBA. It is AASBA.
Kawabata made it. He was 6th. So it's FREDRIC AASBA and Mad Mike still to go. And at the moment, the score to beat is 3.192 million. And that is Fanger Dan Woolhouse. Oh, no, sorry. It's JOACHIM WAAGAARD on 3.367. That is the bubble score that you've got to beat. It's only $500,000 out of Mad Mike's reach. He was 2.837 million in the first round of qualifiers. So he's just got to find another $500,000 points out there, which with the scores we're seeing come in, it shouldn't be that difficult. Take it.
Yeah, so here is our next driver. Mad Mike Whiddett. And this is LCQ, last chance qualifier for him to make it into his own event that he curated, but that does not mean he is going to win. He's your defending champion. He won in 2014 in his home city of Auckland. Can he do it again here on the streets of Liverpool? The Bad Bull, the RX-8, as opposed to the Rat Bull and the Mad Bull. Here comes the bull of them all. Right now, the Red Bull vehicle of Mad Mike Whiddett, and this RX-8 throws it into that angle grinder, 297, out into that pier head wall ride. As you can see, he hits the sensors. That's the proximity sensor as it enters in. He does get it, about 200,000 points for him. Let's see if he can hit all 6, or each one is 20,000.
Beautiful style, angle, and line through there. 1.3 million. That is one of those threshold scores that we're looking for. And he's making the Undertaker pay. Really punishing him here. 1.5, 1.6 million. He's cranked up those two on the back there. Can he get the combo out of this? He needs to fire all 6 of those.
Wow, he finds himself under that Undertaker for quite some time, now approaching the Yellow Submarine. This worked out for Dean Carnage Kearney, and Mike takes out that sensor and that cone. Looks like he is now going to make his way to the George's Dock Wall Ride, where this is where a lot of drivers get a lot of points.
This is what you've got to get. You need all 6 here. He's got the 80,000. Didn't see the 400,000. Can he do it again here? Second time lucky?
No, he does not. So there was an opportunity for him to get 400,000 points if he hit all 6, and he does not do it. So 2.7 million here. What is the score to beat here, Ed, as we got 20 seconds left in order to make those final 2 spots?
He needs 3.367, so he's looking for 300,000 points here in the next 13 seconds.
Oh, there's a lot of distance between him. Can he throw it here? Needs to get back in
the pier head wall ride. He's gone too early.
Oh, 3.7.
What a finish. That was it. Bullseye to finish. That gave him an extra 400,000 points. He parked that exactly perfectly within 30 centimeters of the wall there, and he did that at the last chance salute. Incredible driving from Mad Mike Whiddett.
Yeah, so unofficially that 3.786
that
slides him up, but we still got one more driver left.
FREDRIC AASBA. In our qualifying, AASBA managed to log in a 2.9 million. So again, we need another million added to that score. Okay, so a couple of slow-mos here. Man, Mike was so lucky. Getting that kind of score without really firing those combos on the George's Dock wall ride is amazing. That shows you that could be a 5.5, 6 million score if he really cranks those up. So we can throw down to the pits. Caroline de Moraes is with Mad Mike now.
I don't know, where did we finish up?
Mike, you just got those extra points that you needed right at the end. I mean, we've still got one driver left, but how did he go?
Oh, yeah, that track is just epic. It's really, really tricky, really tight. But yeah, we changed the setup a little bit. The car had too much grip in the first one, so we just made it a little bit slipperier. We missed a few of the combos, and but yeah, I've spotters on my comm, so this time we was just letting me know when we had the combos, and then we'd leave each obstacle. So no, good format, and I mean, yeah, we can only hope to see, hopefully get back through in the top 8. Scary being in the last chance, but even if I'm knocked out, I'll go and join the fans and hang out in the grandstands and just have some fun.
Oh, what a brilliant sport. Good luck. Thanks very much.
Okay, that's Mike's thoughts. Yeah. He managed it by the skin of his teeth. Without that box entry, he would have been out of this contest.
Yeah. That was it. You said, like you said, he had 4 seconds left even after the time went off, and you said there's still a ton of time left, but to get that really paid off for him, because he could have wrapped it around the telephone booth, and that wouldn't have guaranteed. That probably would have been maximum. Even if he got the combo, it would have been, you know what, about. Just taking a look, yeah, but about, I mean, not enough.
Yeah, it would have been under 200,000. Yeah. But for me, it's the pier head wall ride. Sack off the finish box, get straight back into that pier head wall ride. That's 700,000 points if you fire all 6 sensors and get the 500,000 combo. So
that's a big one. That is, and have we seen anybody hit all 6 just yet?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they're all doing that on the opener. But we've got FREDRIC AASBA, the Norwegian, broken axle in practice, and then he laid down a 2.9 million score in qualifying. It was only good enough for 7th place. So he's beaten all of these guys once in qualifying. Can he do it again in the last chance qualifier?
I'm definitely eager to talk to him after this event and see how this vehicle, because as I was saying during his first qualifying run, this car is meant to go really fast, high speed. You've seen it at Rudskogen. Here it's very technical, it's very tight. Can he put it together? The Norwegian Hammer, FREDRIC AASBA here on the streets of Liverpool. Behind the wheel of his Rockstar Energy Toyota 86. It was his birthday yesterday, but is he going to be blowing out candles on the podium or just outside? 712,000 approaching that. We're talking about that combo. You can hear that anti-lag just firing off already. 1.5 million. Ed, this is a sign that he is out for blood. Look at that already. He got that 435,000 underneath that angle grinder.
He is one of the most precise drivers in the world, arguably the best follower. He can position his car perfectly at high speeds in a drift with 2 or 3 other cars, but right now he's cranking through this 3.786 million is what he's looking for, and he's well on his way with 45 seconds left to go. He's at 3.34 and he's cranking the combos.
Looks like AASBA is definitely getting more and more comfortable, and he's just about to surpass Mad Mike's score.
And the submarine. Lucky he didn't get tangled up in that, but he has eclipsed Mad Mike's score.
Yep. So DEANE KEARNEY with that 4.19, it looks like he might be surpassing our LCQ competitors. And look at that, he hits the combo, 400,000 points. He is now your new leader of LCQ. We just need to be in that top 2, and AASBA, the Norwegian Hammer, he could park it right now, and he'd be in the finals of the Grade 8.
The sleeping giant of qualifiers. We haven't seen anything from the Norwegian up to this point. He leaves it to the last second. The last man to drive in the last chance qualifier, and he gets the biggest score of the day. We have cracked the 5 million barrier. Take a bow, FREDRIC AASBA. That was majestic.
AASBA, 5,084,000. As you said, he cracks the 5 million point mark. Sleeping Giant couldn't have said it better. The Norwegian Hammer drops it and just ripples through the streets of Liverpool.
Well, you set it up beautifully. That was the big mistake. It could so easily have gone wrong. We saw exactly the same thing happen for Fang Dan, and he was out. Instead, FREDRIC gets away with it, and he comes back, answers everyone after that with this incredible combo. 2 times through there, and that gives us that score that we've been looking for. Breaking the 5 million barrier. They can push it into 6 as well, even, I reckon. There's definitely room there.
Yeah, we were kind of challenging the drivers, putting it out there just in the atmosphere of, are we going to see 6 million? And I truly believe so. I mean, that's AASBA's 3rd time out on this course. I mean, these guys have only seen it 1.5. So a few of these guys are throwing down here on just minimal time on this track. So the LCQ drivers were DEANE KEARNEY, Finger, Dan Woolhouse, WAAGAARD. We got that of Mr. Carter, Matt Carter, Mad Mike, and then our final driver, FREDRIC AASBA.
So confirmation does come in. FREDRIC AASBA will make it into the quarterfinals, as will DEANE KEARNEY, aka Carnage. We have lost JOACHIM WAAGAARD, the Norwegian, Matt Carter, the Brit, and very sadly, we've also lost Mad Mike Whiddett, the founder of this event and the reigning champion. But I know Mike well enough to say that he will be very, very happy that this course is getting rinsed in the way it is. He'll be over the moon that he's being able to put on a show that he's got the best drivers here and that there are some huge scores going down. That's as much a part of his goal for the day as it was to win. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, if you're just joining us, welcome to Liverpool. We're here in the shadow of the Royal Liver building for one of the most unique events in motorsport. This is Red Bull Drift Shifters. We like to imagine that if Fork Lightning struck a drift car and a pinball machine at the same time, this would be the result. My name is Ed Lee. The man stood next to me is the face, voice, and beard of Drift. It is Jared DeAnder.
Thank you so much for having me, Ed. It's great to be back here once again for not only the 3rd installment of Red Bull Drift Shifters, but the first time it's been outside of Auckland. This is just the progression of drifting, where it's at, taking out that human element. Super exciting, Liverpool to be here. I already got my yellow submarine tattoo, so I'm marked for life.
Okay, we're going to take a quick look now at exactly what Drift Shifters is.
So the concept behind drift shifters was to eliminate any human error, any politics that comes with any judged sport. So as a driver, you are scored exactly on where you're placing the car, how fast you're going, and how many degrees of angle you can throw into these corners.
What we've got is a network of sensors around the course, and they trigger a whole pile of reactions, and those reactions can be sound effects, they can be lighting effects, they can be combos. We can do anything we like with those. So basically, we take a series of inputs and we generate some outputs and some scores as a result of those.
There's always politics within the judges and drivers, and there's always someone that leaves thinking, you know, maybe they deserve this or they deserve that. So I wanted to really create an event that was all about driver skill. So how close you place the car, how much angle you've got the car, how fast you've got the car, and actually be scored electronically was something that was just a dream. Now we have Red Bull drift shifters.
So that's just a teaser of what's gone down here before we go to the main event. And here it is. Let's walk through this massive course, the longest course we've seen of Red Bull drift shifters. It kicks off as these bullets of vehicles come out of Mercy Tunnel. Then they make their way into the pier head wall ride. So you can see right there the bellowing of the exhaust snow. Then you can either take a right or a left, but first you want to go underneath that angle grinder. That is measuring the angle of the vehicle. There are two sensors, front and back. If you go 90 degrees and you're parallel with that, you're going to receive maximum points. There's options, but we want to see them go right into the pier head wall ride. There are 500,000 points up for grabs, 20,000 per sensor. If you hit all 6, combos, 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 times 3, times 6. The more sensors you hit, and if you combo it out, you're going to get it. All right, throwing it down as we head on into the Undertaker truck. We've seen it in movies. Everybody wants to do it. These guys are doing it here on the streets of Liverpool. The Undertaker truck has 5 sensors, 1 underneath it and 1 on each corner. Then, of course, this is Liverpool. So the submarine has made its way from underwater to the streets of Liverpool. It's a no park zone. Clear to enter, clear to exit. Well, it's definitely going to receive a parking ticket. 4 sensors around each corner. And last but definitely not least, George's Dock wall ride. You need to be within a feet of each of these 6 sensors. If you hit each 6, 400,000. If you hit 3, 80,000. The math works out. Then finally, make your way all the way back to the Esso Mobile One finished box. The closer you get, the more points you're going to get. That's where it all ends up, and I all need to do it in 150, as we have now more time. Now let's throw it down to our third member of our team. I'm Jared, you're Ed. Now it's Caroline. Caroline?
Guys, I'm here with Mad Mike. Mike, I know, unfortunately, you've been knocked out, but before that, you're the brains behind all of this. I have to ask you, why Liverpool?
Wow, just why not? This is just such an epic city, and to be able to bring like this dream of mine to create this like drift event with no judges, just keep it real simple for the fans and for the drivers to have so much fun. The history here is absolutely insane, and the support from Liverpool, like City Council, Red Bull UK, has just been absolutely amazing to be able to like fly this idea, this concept. We've done it twice in New Zealand. It's been really successful. I've been really busy with other stuff over the last like 2 years, 3 years, while we haven't done it, with other goals of mine that I've wanted to be able to, Formula Drift, chasing a dream there as well. And yeah, just we've grown such a huge fan base here. The power of social media and Facebook and Instagram, and you know, Goodwood Festival of Speed is a massive event that we've been a part of, and it's been awesome to go and see how many fans I have here in UK. So I was like, man, we got to get Red Bull drift shifters out here.
Absolutely. Well, Mike, listen, thank you so much. Unfortunately, you have been knocked out, but you can watch them all with me.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's not really. I win by just seeing the event succeed and just seeing smiles on people's faces, and now I get to go and join them. Pressure's off a little bit, so yeah.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. Ed, it's back to you.
Yeah, there was just a tiny, you could discern a little bit of disappointment in there, couldn't you?
Yeah, I mean, but like he said, he's a man of his word. A little bit pressure's off. He wants to see a smile on faces, and you know, it's you know, he's gonna have a beer and watch.
Okay, enough about Mike. Let's move on to the guys who have made it into the quarterfinals. First man in the tunnel is Dean Kearney, aka Carnage. You say he doesn't bring the car home in one piece too often.
You've already seen it. He's knocked off the wing endings on his wing, and he uses that as his whiskers. It's the back end of the vehicle, and you don't earn the nickname Carnage, and even spelling it incorrectly with a K, an homage to his last name, by keeping the car tidy. So he's gonna leave it all out here on the track. This Oracle Lighting Dodge Viper on Achilles tires, the highest horsepower vehicle here at Red Bull Drift Shifters Liverpool. 82,000 points at the exit out of that angle grinder. There's a proximity sensor right there. The closer you get, the higher points you're gonna get as he heads into that pierhead wall ride.
So can he fire that combo up? Yes, there you saw the score jump right up, 1.2 million. He's got $500,000 out of that pierhead wall ride. And he's back under the angle grinder again, really working. I think a lot of people have seen that if you compartmentalize the course, you work one end, you work the middle, you work the other end. That's where the big scores are coming from. Second bite of the pierhead wall ride. If you can get all 6 of these fired up, this score is going to be huge.
And you can combo it twice, but you can only combo it twice.
Yeah, he didn't get that $500,000 there, so he's given the telephone box a little bit of a nudge.
Right. All right, under that Undertaker, and then now around the yellow submarine. Seemed very comfortable with that in his LCQ and even in his practice run. 30 seconds left, 2.3 million points. Look at that, he didn't even go down to the George's Dock wall ride.
I tell you what, if anyone's got a pacemaker here, they're going to need to be careful because the vibrations coming off that car as it backfires, it's like a defibrillator.
And there we go, 2.64 million. Can he hit that combo? 20 seconds left. Do you think he's going to beeline back to the finish box? Is this enough?
Well, this is not the same driver that we saw bank 5 million just a couple of minutes ago.
Yeah, so Dean Carnage Kearney, time has expired, just shy of 3 million, 2.9 million.
So he got 4.2 million in the last chance qualifier, and then he's nearly half that, like 2.9. So very, very light for the Dodge Viper. No venom in those fangs this time.
All right, so 2.9 million there for Dean Carnage Kearney. Let's look at it again. See, there's those winglets off the angle grinder. He throws it in good, and he takes a different approach. He doubles back. So again, there's a clip there, and there's a proximity sensor there. But he did get that combo on this Pierhead wall ride.
It was such a good start, really, really strong. And then, like so many drivers that we've seen, he just lost momentum. He couldn't make the George Dock wall ride pay. He's really tried on that second go, but he's just floating off the wall. We can go down to the pits now. Kaz is with Dean Kearney.
Dean, what happened? Talk me through it.
Yeah, it started off actually pretty good. The second time around, the big one here, the pier wall ride, actually got a bit of differential slip, so that kind of ruined the combo, kind of upset the balance of it, and from then I kind of felt like I was on the back foot because I was trying to overcompensate in the driving end of it to actually make up the points. My last run before this was better than it. Score's not so bad, but I think we're going to be very on the cusp about if we can make the final four.
Well, listen, best of luck and well done. It was great. Thank you.
Okay, so
this is the $5 million man, the 5 million point man, the Norwegian Hammer FREDRIC AASBA 2JZ powered Rockstar energy drink, Toyota 86. Can he go back to back? He seems like he's, worked out. He's done all his stretching. He's the birthday boy from yesterday. Can he do it again?
Hasn't he? He's got that. Woo! He's got his feel for this course after a rough start this morning. He's definitely in sync with it now.
All right, here we go. Check the speed. 140. Talking about the clock. 207,000. Exits out of that angle grinder. There's a sensor there. There's a sensor on the other side. He hits that, and there's that proximity.
You know what I love about AASBA's runs? There's a sense of urgency to them.
You're right. We talked about the smoothness and the chillness of Forrest Wang. AASBA, the car sounds violent. It looks violent. It looks very quick. So another driver doubling back underneath that angle grinder. Do you think that's the right approach, Ed?
200,000 points, and then he got another 100 off that bumper. And he's just cranking through these. So he's made this end of the course pay, but it is critical. This is only half the battle. He's got to make the rest of the course pay now, because he's used up all of the big combos at this end.
He is using all his tools. I can almost see inside the cockpit, him just feathering the clutch, getting that car, maintaining the proximity to those outside sensors. Underneath that wall ride, 3 million. Again, we just came off that LCQ run that had 5 million. Can he go back to back? Look at really riding the clutch. You can see there's a lot of smoke coming off that car. He needs to get some grip and get to that George Dock wall ride.
If you're watching and wondering what on earth's going on, no, a firework factory has not caught fire. That is the noise that the car is making.
80,000 combo. Can he back it up with a 6-time
He needs
combo?
that 400,000 one here if he's going to be safe. And he got it, didn't he?
I believe so.
Definitely
I believe he got it there. So we're about to approach that 5 million mark. 10 seconds.
Get that car up here. You need to get into the finish box.
He's going to hit that phone booth, and then can he hit that wall ride, or excuse me, that SO Mobile 1? No, he does not.
Too late. So he timed out just as Dean Kearney did. He timed out, but in a very different style with 4.5 million points and change on the board. So another big, strong run from FREDRIC AASBA, the Norwegian, definitely starting to dominate this contest now.
Like you said, a firework factory out here on track. The thing is firing off. The fans, I'm just assuming and hoping they're just having a blast out here, seeing smiles on faces here, Ed.
Oh my goodness. What a drive, really starting to step up. We talked about this earlier on. It's just building the contest up slowly. We've been simmering for a little while. We've turned it up to a broil, and then we're going to pull it all out and set fire to it in the semi-finals. Top 4 drivers out of these quarter-final 8 are going through to the semis. And then it is a straight pitch toe-to-toe battle in the final. The 2 best drivers of the day. If you're wondering how much practice these guys have had, they turned up 2 days ago. Their cars have been built, and this morning in practice was the first time they got on the course. Masato Kawabata struggled on that first run. He just looked like he was testing traction, but qualifying he came out. We're looking for something big from him now, though.
Yeah, he needs to deliver in order to advance on, and he really needs to bring his A game that we've seen in different sanction bodies and different drifting events. This SR Power S13, he had a lot of grip in the car. Let's see if he maybe potentially loosened it up a little bit and quickly. 237 underneath that angle grinder. Now transitions back to those outside sensors and the proximity into that pier head wall ride. Exits out, no bonus there.
He's missed the bonus, so you'll see most people coming out of there at 1.2 million. He's come back under the angle grinder, though, and that has paid. That strategy did work out for him. So he's on 1.5 million. He's going to take his second pass to the pier head wall ride. Can he get the combo this time? We want to see all 6 lights. Yes, there you go. Okay, now he's really starting to rack up this score. Another 400,000, and he's reeled in Dean Kearney.
Kawabata's got a lot of time left here, 45 seconds, and he has yet to go to the George's Dock wall ride. Little hiccup there, you see him correct.
I think it's going to be 4 million if you want to make top 4. I'm going to go out on a limb now and say that. So working these sensors around the Undertaker.
Is he spending too much time there? That was a couple go-rounds there at the Undertaker.
And it gave him 800,000 points. He went in there at 2.5. He's come out at 3.3. But this is the big one. Can he drag 400,000 out of this combo? No, he's not getting anything.
I'm not hearing the bells ding. He had a lot of points left over there. 3.5 million here for Kawabata. 20 seconds left. He rips back down. Is he going to bring it into that SL Mobile 1 finish box? And he does. But not a lot of points for him. 3.6 million. Again, 3.644, 3.644971 for the lone Japanese driver here in Liverpool.
So 3.6 million. It's a big score, but I think for the top 4, it's going to be right on the bubble. If you want to join in the conversation today with Jared and I, you can using the hashtag Red Bull Drift Shifters. Doesn't matter where you're watching this, whether you're live here with us on Facebook or on Red Bull TV, the action is coming thick and fast, and we're going to be burning a lot more rubber as the afternoon goes on. Masato Kawabata, one of the greatest drift drivers of his generation. So precise. So next driver in the tunnel, Peter WIECEK of Poland in that R34 Skyline. Absolute beast of a vehicle, one of the classic drift cars.
Yeah, R34, you gotta love it. It's the two-door versus the four-door, rear-wheel drive as opposed to all-wheel drive, and of course, it's got a 2J in it. So scrap that RB engine and throw in a Toyota. In line 6 as Peter WIECEK underneath that angle grinder, 277, 377. As the Polish driver, the Polish champ.
Oh, look at him really letting it hang out. So much flair in his driving. Beautiful style as he lines it up.
Peter WIECEK, one of the drivers, one of 3 making their way from Poland yesterday. Wow, really tidy around. That
there he
London
goes,
telephone box
rang.
hits the combo. That's like the first time I think we've seen it so far.
You can ring my bell.
Peter, ring my bell.
Ring my bell.
Look at that, already almost 2 million and about a minute left here from Peter WIECEK, 2.1 million. Did he ring your bell again? No, going for it.
Oh, there it was, yes.
And there it is,
Okay,
that's what
so
you're
that
talking
was out
about.
of the first one. He only got 3 on the second one.
Stick it to the wall.
All right, so approaching that 3 million point mark around that telephone booth once again. Seems that he's having a bit of struggle here around this one, but now keeps it tight.
4 million is going to be that threshold, I guarantee it. So he's got to find another 750,000. Sorry, 650,000 in 20 seconds.
This is
Back
where he might
into the
find
pier
it.
head.
He might find it here. I'm hearing some dings.
Yes, there it was. The 500,000 point combo from that pier head wall ride. He swings it around with plenty of time to spare here. Just donutting around, smashing out the bumpers. 3 seconds.
Well done.
Tugs it up, night, with all sensors fired for 4.9 million. Peter WIECEK really starting to, he's been jabbing this course for a little bit, he's just uppercut it. I reckon he's got a knockout blow left in there, but that was big from the Polishman.
Well, we saw AASBA with that 5 million in LCQ. Peter WIECEK approaches that with a 4.9 million, and he has a lot of opportunity to better even more, but he needs to get into the top 4 spot in order to advance on and really prove himself.
Okay, Kaz is in the pits with Peter now.
Peter, you came over smiling away. I think you're pleased with that.
Yeah, I'm very happy. I'm finally getting comfortable with the track. I have to set up my mind that it's more about precise driving than aggressive, really. And I think it started working. I don't know the score, but I think it was pretty good. I'm really happy about it. I'll try to repeat it now, and we'll see. I hope I'm staying in competition and having more fun today.
It was a fantastic score. Thanks very much. Best of luck.
You've got to love him, you've got to love him, haven't you? He is absolutely wonderful, and he's rocking a 70s glam rock haircut.
Right.
Absolutely fantastic. Now, James Deane, the man with the Mazda RX-7, is in the tunnel. Don't believe that 550 horsepower tag. There is way more juice under the hood.
And James Deane comes off that victory just last night in Poland, caught the private jet. Here he shows up, and he's going to try to flex his muscle. SR powered, brand new engine. First time he drove it was just 2 runs ago. Here comes this Wardhouse Drift Team Falcon Tires FD RX-7, James the Machine Deane.
He's cracked 4 million once before. Can he do it again here when it counts in the quarterfinals? Love the color scheme on this car.
Teal and blue is signature Falcon Tire colors, and Falcon Tires made their presence felt throughout the Formula Drift season this year and across the globe with the Wardhouse Drift Team. 1.5 million mega points right now for the machine.
Lovely positioning through the Undertaker. He's got that car exactly where he wants it.
How would you describe his driving style? You talked about FORREST WANG as smooth and very calm. AASBA a bit more violent. How would you describe
I'm not joking.
it?
There's a couple of people just got their eyebrows singed down here. They gave out a big belch of fire right in front of the crowd. His driving style, it's immaculate.
Yeah.
His janitor is just cleaning this up. The car is being positioned so precisely. It's exactly where he wants it.
Big
400,000 on the first pass.
Yeah, 400,000, he hits all 6. That's exactly where he needs to be. There are those overhang sensors there, so grab some points. He's gonna wrap it. No, he does not. He goes past the phone booth. And now I bet he goes into the wall ride once again, and he does just that. Let's see if he can tick the boxes. We're talking about all 6 sensors. Can he get into that 4.9? 4 million, he is just around that. Oh no, is he gonna bring it in early?
Good finish box. No, he's going for another tag. So he's got that little nose bumper there under the angle grinder. Another 67,000. He's got 2 seconds to get in the box. Oh, just too late. I'm pretty sure. Let's just double check it. Yeah, timed out. It's so far, it's only Peter WIECEK who's managed to get in the box in time. And he still retains the highest score. James Deane, 4.272 million. So he slots into 3rd place, just behind FREDRIC AASBA and Peter WIECEK. So at the moment, Masato Kawabata and Dean Kearney are in the nervous positions. Well, Dean Kearney is already out, we know that. Only the top 4 are going through to the semis here, so Masato Kawabata has a nervous wait as our next 3 drivers take to this course. I think we're going to see it up at least at 4.2 million.
Yeah, you gotta get up there. I mean, 4.5 million is definitely not locking it in, but it's impressive.
Okay, so Dado, the man from Lebanon. So we've talked about this, but he was a professor, wasn't he? In the drivers' meeting, he asked so many questions.
Really just analyzing it, just bringing out the scalpel and just performing surgery. And truth be told, we haven't seen him for a little bit because he had his qualifying run so long ago. It didn't need to go to LCQ. So here comes Dado, originally from Lebanon, now residing in the UAE in this Red Bull 370Z. He has a 2JZ under the hood.
Highest score we've seen out of that first turn, nearly 500,000 already cranked in.
That angle grinder is massive. We saw a good angle from Fang Dan, but Fang Dan no longer a factor. 1.3 million. Look at Dado. This is what you're talking about, man.
I think he spearheaded this tactic of staying up at this end of the course and really breaking the course down into segments. So look at this, he's going to come out of here.
The car is really quick. It seems that he's getting sensor to sensor. That thing is just like a rolling clock. That thing is just ticking away.
40 seconds down, but he's stalling now. He cranked up those 2.3 million so quickly, but the Undertaker is proving way, way harder to crack for Dado there as he comes down now. He wants to get straight into the big combo points of the George's dot wall ride.
Oh, I only heard 5.
6, there you go. That was the 400,000 on the second pass.
So he's going to hit under the overhang. There you can see the gantry there and the overhangs. That's where he grabs some points. And he starts,
city side and river
look
sides.
at that. He did that on his first run. That's a good opportunity for him to grab the onesie twosies and not so much focus on the combos.
He is so strategic out here. Knows exactly what he's doing. He's designed this run to score points.
Approaching that 4 million, and he does it. How's he doing there?
Ooh,
boom!
150,000 for the finish box. But it doesn't put him that safe. It only puts him into 4th position. So he sits now just literally 100,000 behind James Deane, and then it's FREDRIC AASBA and Peter WIECEK. And we know for sure now that Peter WIECEK and FREDRIC AASBA have made it through to the semi-finals. Nervous times for James Deane and Abdo Fagali. Let's take a look at these replays. So he makes that end of the course pay, but this was just the river and city side bumpers, wasn't it? Donutting in between those and just cranking up points. But this, for me, this is where it all pays off for him. Yeah,
it was a great technique by Dado. He grabbed a few points there, but it seems that he is actually he's simulating what he did on his first runs. And this is what I was talking about last night at dinner. He went over to Mad Mike and kept drilling him on what would be the ideal line or a cumulative score. And it seems that overhang technique, he's the only one doing that, kind of going back and forth over there. Yeah. And he nailed that wall ride a couple times.
You're literally spinning up points, aren't you?
So, as you said,
okay, next
we are ready for Gazwaida.
Yep, the boy from Whangarei had a great run back in the early qualifying. Managed to put 4.499 on the board, so 4.5 million. What was he? 43 points short of it, I think. So we'll give him 4.5 million.
Right. So 449 where would that would actually get him into the top 4. So if he could duplicate that, and maybe put a little more icing on that cake, he would look a lot prettier going into the final 4 here at Liverpool.
I think Dardo may have overthought this. I think the first pass, the lack of the combo on the first pass to George's dog has done it. So
it's all gas wider right now. Looks like he has buttoned up his bumpers and he's ready to throw down or maybe shave him off once again. Not a big score. We talked about Dotto, that massive score underneath that angle grinder.
Well, not early, but if he can start to pick it up here, if he pulls out the $500,000
you ask and you shall receive. $1.5 million already.
Listen to the noise. He's in danger of blinding himself with the amount of smoke he's kicking out.
Fails to hit that one sensor on the corner of the Undertaker. It's not ticking very much right now there, Ed.
No, he really needs to get down and make this wall pay. Big, big points for sale at the George's Dock.
He kind of goes silent there to listen for the dings. And no, he's missing quite a few of them.
This is going to cost him 2 passes through there, and he hasn't got the combos going, so there's a lot of points going big in here. He needs to find 2 million points. The Pierhead wall ride could do something for him. So he's going to come back up to this end of the course and see what he can do with the ultra proximity bumper. Smash that? No. Yes, he got it.
Yeah, he did.
The ultra proximity bumper. That one is very, very close.
This is where you get eclipse the 4 million mark. So the yellow flags are out. That's not caution. That means there are 20 seconds left. You want to see them? Oh, there it is. Their 4 million mark. But can he go further? 8 seconds left.
He needs another 200,000. This has to be perfect.
Boom! 500,000 up to 4.8. He hit that center marker. He got all 3. That's the combo that all the drivers are looking for.
If you look closely at your screen there, you can just see he's within 30 centimeters of that wall. That was fantastic. Again, like Mad Mike, the way we saw him in the last chance qualifiers, Mad Mike just managing to crank up those points. So let's take a look at those now. Gaz Whiter moves into second place, 4.825 million, just behind Peter WIECEK and just ahead of FREDRIC AASBA. Abdo Fagali, aka Dardo, is out. He's now in 5th place. James Deane has the nervous weight. He sat on the bubble in 4th place with 1 driver left to go. Forrest Wang, the Hawaiian.
Right, yeah.
Okay, we can go down into the pits now. Who have you got, Kaz?
Gaz, that was great. It looked great from me. How did it feel for you?
Oh, just so much fun. I'm getting in the groove now. That was just awesome. I actually think I've damaged the clutch. I tried to force it into the end box the last little bit, but we'll just have to check it. It got pretty hot, that one. I'm giving it a bit of throttle, so no.
Well, let's hope you've done enough. Well done.
Okay, so the Hawaiian steps up. He scored the biggest score in qualifying. We've seen it eclipse since, but Forrest Wang, 4.864 million. Beautiful driver, so much style.
Very stylish driver, throws Aloha vibes. He throws a shock out the window. This Vape-Tasia, Achilles tire, Energy Innovations, 2JZ powered, signature green, Forrest Wang. He's gonna bring in that big country lounge wing, hanging off the back. I talked about that styly angle, and there it is, 354 from Forrest Wang, already almost to that $500,000 mark. Now he's gonna go hit those outside sensors. Here's a proximity sensor.
Nope.
He got about 100,000 there. Now he goes in to that Pierhead wall ride. 1.8, approaching 2 million. Just about 20 seconds. Already expired, but plenty of time left. Let's see how Forrest Wang performs on this track. What's the cutoff here, Ed? Right now, he needs to beat 4.27 million.
Okay, so he needs 2 million. And he's got a minute to do it. I think he's going to find it.
Boom, there it is. Can he do it?
The
Boom!
400,000 combo. Another one of those and he's there.
This is where Forrest Wang really shines. He's dragging that bumper, that super new bumper, on the back wall. You can barely see him. He's throwing out so much smoke compared to some of the other drivers. 3.5 million and still more than 30 seconds left.
And now look, you'll see him. He's getting it sideways under the riverside and the city side bumpers.
Look at this,
right
4.2. There it is. He's locked in a top 4.
Okay, it's all over for James Deane. Forrest Wang making this look deceptively easy. He's got to grips with this course so quickly. 1 practice run, 1 qualifier, and he's consistently putting out scores in the high 4s.
So he is about to approach that SO Mobile One finish box. Can he bring it on in? Forrest Wang, 5.5 million points. And it looks like time expired, but now that is our officially newest higher score, 5.5 million from Forrest Wang.
He is just getting better and better. The French wine of drift car racing. Every time he comes out, it's a little more impressive. So big round of applause. Things just starting to heat up here in Liverpool. Taking care of business, people, taking care of business. Forrest Wang is starting, that's a statement of intent. He's starting to look a little bit unbeatable, dare I say.
Yeah, he is throwing down and just finding that groove. Peter WIECEK. And right now, Cass is with a driver. What do we got?
Forrest has just said to me that he's out of breath. He said, give me a minute. Wow. I mean, that was incredible. You have raised the stakes.
I don't know what to say. I mean, we had a plan. We changed it up a little bit after the first qualifying where we figured we could pick up a few more points. But I missed the finish box, I think, which could have gave me some good bonus. But I guess they're saying high score. I don't even know what I did, but I guess it's good.
I'm pretty sure I heard from the boys it was about 5 something. 5.5. Wow. So, yes.
The finish box was worth almost half a million. So, I mean, wow, that's amazing.
Well done. Well done. It was fantastic.
That is a great point. 500,000 going begging in the finish box. He only needs to be a second quicker, but still good enough for the top spot. So we're cutting off at 4. Forrest Wang, Peter WIECEK, Gaz Whiter, and FREDRIC AASBA make it through to the semis. It's goodbye to James Deane, Dado, Masato Kawabata, and Dean KEARNEY.
And look at that, a lot of different, 4 different countries being represented there as far as the top 4. So very aggressive drivers here. So yeah, Forrest Wang, Peter WIECEK, Gaz Whiter said he's hitting his stride, and all these guys are just aging and fermenting and just bubbling and frothing at the bit to have their way with this course. And as Caroline said to Forrest Wang, he says, let me catch my breath. These guys are tired.
Oh yeah, and it's not going to slow up now. We're going straight into the semis. Looking at it, who do you see? I mean, there's a million points between their scores there. FREDRIC AASBA on 4.5, Forrest on 5.5, and then the other two, Gaz Whiter and Peter WIECEK, right in the middle, 4.8 and 4.9. I can see AASBA stepping up.
You kind of took the words out of my mouth. It really could be any one of these guys, but now it's about car attrition. We saw AASBA break an axle earlier. Forrest Wang, he's running really efficiently, smooth. It seems that he's kind of, doesn't seem that his car is at 100%, to be quite honest. Seems like he's...
Gaz Whiter said that the clutch is heating up, and that is going to be, if he can't get that under control, that's going to be a big, big factor.
And then Peter WIECEK, he's going hard with that R34 Skyline. You see him shredding bumpers, throwing caution to the wind, better yet, that Skyline to the wall of this Liverpool track. So it really could be anybody's game. We're taking the final 2 into the top 2 as we are waiting to go here into the final 4.
There's a real consistency there as well that you're seeing between AASBA's already done a 5 million, he's just shy. Forrest is just doing 5 millions for fun. Interestingly though, Peter WIECEK is improving. We're seeing real improvements on his score round by round, and I think if he keeps working it out like that, he looks so relaxed out there. He could be a dark horse, I think.
Yeah, he started out with a 434. But he broke, actually, he broke, and then went from a 3.7 million to a 4.9, so he's right there. How we doing? Over there at GoPro, what's up?
Giving us a wave. Who's ready for another Mexican wave? I reckon we've got one in us, haven't we? Before we get to the semis. Right, starting up on the right-hand side of that pit wall. You ready up there? Count you down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Give us a Mexican wave. Get them up.
Come on. Send it. There we go.
Okay. Now, when we get down to the GoPro truck, I want to see it go slow.
Keeping it slow here at Red Bull Drift Shifters. And then can we see it speed up real quick?
Let's get it up. Yeah, fast. Bring it through. Go down to George's Dock with some speed, and when we get down to the end of George's Dock, we want to see it slow. Okay, and then speed it up down the side here. Let's see it race.
It's coming, approaching the yellow submarine, and now into the Undertaker. Come on, let's speed it up.
Faster,
faster, faster, faster, faster.
Come on, get it up.
Making its way past us into the commentary box. Here comes Ed. There you go.
There
all the
we
way
go around the corner.
Into the Pierhead wall ride. Even the officials getting involved.
That's what you want to see. Yes, the Mexican drift shifting wave.
Again, in the States, we call it the wave. I love whenever I come to UK or Europe, they call it the Mexican wave.
I've got another good fact for you on that front.
What's that?
In England, we call, if you have a drink before you do something, it's called Dutch courage. In every other country in Europe, they call it English courage.
Oh, right. Right. I call it a shot. All right, so my name's Jared Deanda. Ed Lee, thank you so much for having me. Caroline, Cass down in the pits. And it's a real honor to be out here. So, Ed, you having fun, bud? You liking this stuff?
This is my third drift shifters, and it just gets better and better with each one. The first time we saw it come out, no one quite knew what to expect. This is the first time we've seen it in the Northern Hemisphere. So all of these drivers, only 3 of them have done it before. We've only got 1 driver left in now who's done it before. So watching these drivers adapt, they're different interpretations of it. For me, it's magical.
Yes.
And the skill involved, because you just think about it for a second, like, could you, even if you had an entire car park to yourself, could you actually handbrake turn and put it in a parking spot? Probably not. What these guys are doing, the space under the Undertaker truck to put a car sideways through a 6-meter gap is just breathtaking.
Yeah, and the vehicle build's very diverse. You know, you have this 86, just this loud firing off. FREDRIC AASBA, Gaz Wider in his S chassis, Peter WIECEK in that 2JZ powered Skyline, and of course FORREST WANG. So all these guys rocking some 2J horsepower. So yeah, looking forward to seeing what's going to go down here as our final 4 is here.
Okay, if you're wondering how this course works, want to know more, take a look at this film. It shows you how the sensors are built.
So it's basically like a giant pinball machine. So what we've got is a network of sensors around the course, and they trigger a whole pile of reactions, and those reactions can be sound effects, they can be lighting effects, they can be combos, we can do anything we like with those. So basically we take a series of inputs and we generate some outputs and some scores as a result of those.
For me, it's pretty easy. I'm just driving around and just, you know, saying this is what a poor run should look like and this is what an epic run should look like. But for these guys creating the program to be able to tally it all up and the combos, and I go into their little office over there that they've got set up on their bus, and it's just unreal the amount of numbers and digits and scores and angles, and yeah, I'm glad I'm a professional driver.
Go to start position, blast through there as fast as you can, whether that's forwards or sideways, up to you. I just need you to go as quickly as possible so we can make sure that thing will read at all possible speeds.
Okay.
Now we're at a stage where we're going through each feature at a time and we're tweaking them up. So we'll do 4 or 5 runs here and get this one just so, and then we'll move on to the next feature and hit that again. And we just work our way down the track with Mike coming in over and over and over, doing good, better, best. And we're making sure that the system is reading accurately to how a judge would judge it from a human's perspective.
With the whole concept of drift shifters, I was never trying to reinvent drifting. It's a visual judged sport, so there's natural human error, the politics that come with any judged sport. But not only that, it was really important to create something that the crowd can understand. You know, if you're not a core follower of the sport, then it's very difficult to understand the scoring system.
At what point do you think it's 0 bonus? Is it, you were saying 500 mil?
Yeah, 500 mil.
500 mil. 250 mil, you're half the bonus and at no mil off the bonus.
Yeah, if you're scraping, you're winning.
Well, Mad Mike talks about the curation of this and just complimenting the sport of drifting, competitive drifting, having the judged element, and now the robots are the judges here. The eyes are on the prize and talking about either the front bumper or the back bumper, as Mike wants to compliment the competitive world of drifting. Just keeping the progression going as far as technology, but not completely dismantling what's going on there. Line angle and style still criteria here at Red Bull Drift Shifters as it is in competitive drifting or head-to-head battle. Now you're just doing battle against the track and how skillful and tight and tidy you can make your line and angle.
So we have cut 12 drivers down to 4. We've got the semi-finals now, which will make it just 2, and then those 2 drivers will go head-to-head in a bid to take the 2018 Red Bull Drift Shifters in Liverpool title. It is a very, very prestigious award because there's so many different facets to this. As you said, a lot of drifting is kind of pocketing the car and then mimicking someone else's driving style at high speed. But here, it's kind of a mix of stunt driving, drifting, even a little bit of rally.
Skill, talent. Well, you really don't want to rally. That, unfortunately, a couple of drivers did, AASBA and Fang Dan, but that's not what they intended to do. They hit that yellow submarine and caught a little bit of air. But yeah, they definitely show that they have a gang of talent. Have you seen the trophies yet?
Yes.
Yeah, they're massive. They really need to work out to carry those things.
Yeah, the Wings girls and I think we have the Lord Mayor of Liverpool.
Yeah.
In the house to give those out. They're going to have a full workout. Okay, if you're just joining us, we can take a look at the course. The start tunnel is the exit of the Mersey tunnel. 90,000 cars a day come through that tunnel. Today it's just 12. And we're about to see 4 come out of that gaping hole of doom. And they will pass just on the left-hand side there. As soon as they go into that keep clear yellow box, that is where the sensor that starts the timer is. They then want to set the car up sideways because they'll come under the angle grinder. This measures how perpendicular the cars are to the course. So they want to be at 90 degrees, basically parallel with that scaffold gantry there. And if they get it parallel, if the sensors fire at the same time, then they get huge points. Then there's a couple of little proximity bumpers on either side of the curbs there, but they lead into the pier head wall ride. 6 sensors that if you can fire all of them together as you go around will give you a 500,000 point bonus. You can claim that bonus twice. So the driver's really looking to make that one work.
Then moving on through out of that area, you can go into a few different portions, but ideally you can make your way through the Undertaker. The Undertaker is the truck, and we've seen this in many of films. There are 5 sensors, 1 underneath. That's the view these guys are going to be getting, but they're going to be throwing it sideways and hucking underneath, and then 4 sensors, 1 on each corner of this big 18-wheeler. Then you make your way down. What's that?
I was going to say, it depends what generation you're from, whether it's the French Connection, Smokey and the Bandit, or the Fast and the Furious, but they've all been under a truck.
It's all impressive regardless. We all kind of want to do it. So moving on down, the Yellow Submarine has breached the streets here of Liverpool. The Yellow Submarine has 4 sensors, 20,000 per sensor, 150,000 if you hit all 4, and that is a very difficult one because you need to be really tight to those sensors. Then moving on down, 6 sensors at the end of George's Dock Wall Ride. 6 sensors, 10,000 per sensor, and you got to be within a foot of them. If you hit all 6, 400,000. Then right before that, we saw some other drivers really utilize those 2 overhangs. And that's 150,000 per sensor. Ding dong, ding dong.
Yeah, the city side and riverside bumpers.
Yeah.
One of the interesting things, though, because of how close you've got to be to this George's Dock wall ride, I think that is really the make or break bonus for a lot of these drivers. It's very hard to make a big score if you haven't got a combo out of that at least once.
Well, if you make your way back, or when you do make your way back, you have the phone box Ballards, which have 3 sensors, 20,000 per, 120,000 if you hit all 3. And then finally, you want to end up in the ESO, Mobile One Finish Box, because 40,000 per sensor, and if you hit all 3, it's a 500,000 points. So that's the center one. You got to be a foot off of that middle one.
Who did we see do it in the last round?
Forrest Wang. Forrest Wang jumped up, and he jumped all the way up to that 4 or the 5.5. So he was at 5 and then just hovered up and then bang, jumped
WIECEK
up.
did it as well.
And WIECEK did it. Yeah, so very impressive, and it could come down to just that last scotch, but you do need to have 1 second or more on your clock. Otherwise, you will not receive any points in that SO Mobile One Finish box. So some incentivization there in order to make it to that Mobile One Finish box.
That shot gives you a beautiful idea of the tattoo the streets of Liverpool have been gifted. It's a burnt rubber tattoo.
Yeah.
It's going to take the street cleaners quite a while to get that out.
Just leave it. This is when you say, kids, don't try this at home, or don't say, like, tomorrow, I saw Mad Mike do it, so I'm going to throw down here as well.
It's a lot harder than it looks.
Yes.
For a start, your mum's Micra probably doesn't have the horsepower to do this.
You haven't met my mom yet.
Okay, is she got a Nissan Micra?
No. I don't know what she's driving right now, but she can hot rod, she can wheel.
Mrs. DeAnder behind the wheel of a drift car. That is something I'd like to see.
Yeah, right.
So 4 drivers in the quarterfinals. Forrest Wang of Hawaii, Peter WIECEK of Poland, Gaz White from Whangarei, New Zealand, and FREDRIC AASBA from Norway. The Scandinavians are coming up in drifting really fast, aren't they?
Yeah, a lot of Scandos, and they, as you said, talking about drifting on ice, drifting on snow, you know, tire minimization of actually just burning through the resources that are tires, but just a lot of talent. There's, you know, Peter WIECEK, you got Norwegian drive, you know, just a lot of the Scandos are stepping up tremendously, and Osbo, he has really kind of put Norway on the map as far as making a lot of noise, and he's constantly ripping around. So he will be our first driver actually out here, and that car is just super loud. You can barely hear yourself think.
Yeah, we're about to unleash a mobile fireworks factory on you. So he's going to do what's called scrubbing here, which is just taking the top seal off the tyre. That won't actually slide that well. You want to get rid of that top seal, and then the car will start to really move around.
Now this is his fun car that he competes in at Godbill, and he does a lot of demos over in Europe and in Scandinavia and his native country of Norway. So he does primarily high-speed drifting, especially at the power slide competitions at Godbill, as he competes in the States in a 4-cylinder turbo. This thing is a hot rod. It's 1,000 horsepower, turbo nitrous. It's ridiculous. The Rockstar vehicle is loud and proud, and as I said, he just comes off of a win at the previous round of the Formula Drift Championship in St. Louis.
Okay, so filled with confidence, he's made the last 4 here. Podium spots are up for grabs and that all-elusive win. So it'll be interesting to see what strategy FREDRIC AASBA uses here. He's been steadily in, well, he's banked 4.8 and 5 million in the last 2 rounds. He certainly knows his way around this course now. Can he crack 5.5, put a little bit of pressure on Forrest Wang?
So we're in top 4 right now, and the highest 2 scores progress to the finals, as Osbo is ready to shoot out of the barrel of the gun that is the Mercy Tunnel. And here he comes, FREDRIC, Norwegian Hammer Osbo. Now we've added 10 seconds, so just think how tired they were with the minute 40 now. They got 10 more seconds, so hopefully and ideally, we're gonna see a little bit higher scores here, Ed.
And here comes the fireworks factory. That actually sounded like the start of Whole Lot of Love by Led Zeppelin.
Right? Bottle rockets, whiz bangs, smoke bombs, all of it.
He missed the combo. That is going to hurt him. But he's using Dardo's technique of coming back through that angle grinder.
Didn't grab any more points, so 727 still holds on.
Okay, so those sensors are firing, but the score is not going up at the moment.
Yeah, the ticker doesn't seem to be ticking, as we still have a minute left. We will wait to see how it accumulates unofficially, but still a minute left. A minute left here for FREDRIC AASBA. As 45 seconds, you can hear and see the lights illuminate or change color. Listen closely. So he skips one. You see him get into the back of his vehicle and throws him offline. It does not hit that sensor, but there is a big combo. So now it is updated. Look at that. Almost 4 million, 4 million, 4.4, 20 seconds left. Now the yellow flags are out.
So the scores are kind of out the window, but that extra 10 seconds, he's booting down here. He wants this 500,000.
And massage it in, 5.1 million.
Oof. So he pulls out 250,000 from that finish box, and he had 7 seconds left. So it'll be interesting. He might regret coming in quite so early there. He maybe had time to hit one more feature.
I mean, Wang hit it with you know, he didn't get that SO Mobile 1 finish box in the previous grade 8, and he got 5.5 million.
Yeah.
So just a lot of points left out there. It was clicking behind the scenes. The graphic wasn't updating, but boom, right there, you see it, 5.15 with about 30 seconds left. And it started updating. He had some mistakes there. You saw him throw the back end of his vehicle, and maybe we cursed him. We talked about him stepping up, and it seemed that he got a little too loose, especially in that George's Dock wall ride.
That entry, though, was phenomenal. He actually tapered it. As he came in, he realized, oh, I just need to pull it forward a bit. Okay, Gaz White, the man from Whangarei, formidable fisherman, even better drift driver. The New Zealander is going to want to put a big score on the board, definitely more than 5 million.
Yeah, one of the most successful drifters in New Zealand, Gaz White. He's got his wife and his 2-year-old son here, just celebrated his birthday on Friday, and here comes Gaz White.
A little bit light on the angle grinder. He's going to need some points here. Can he get the ultra proximity? Yes, he can. Look at that.
Wow.
400,000 out of that, which means he was nearly, well, he would have been under 40 centimeters. Made that pay.
Gaz goes long on the Undertaker to now bring it underneath. No, he doesn't. So works his way all the way around and now finds himself underneath.
Undertaker is a dangerous beast. He spent a lot of time there and it hasn't cranked up that many points. Okay, so he's gone for the Riverside bumper there. Stuck it to the wall. 80,000.
Just hits 3. So he does get that 3 times combo. You saw the 80,000.
Very clever. He's come out to pull off the 2 bumpers and now he's going back in.
Does not get all 6, but 2.9 million.
Got the 400,000 out of that one.
He's got to do some quick work here. He has to beat 5.157 in order to solidify, well, not even solidify, because there's still 2 more drivers. So to just better his chances, that's a lot of points to make up in just 20 seconds.
I don't know, he's got the pierhead wall ride here. That'll push him into 4.5. Then if he can pull off the SO finish box, yes, look at that, he comes straight into the angle grinder. This could go.
He's gonna scrub a lot of time right here.
No, he's got 10 seconds. If he can make it back to the SO Mobile finish box here, this could be our biggest score of the day.
5.337. So
okay.
He does better AASBOs by just about 200,000 points. That still does not solidify because there's 2 drivers left and we're only taking the top 2 moving on. Gaz White puts down a 5.337, pending on our next driver, which should be PIOTR WIECEK.
You've got to say, if Gaz White could have driven the middle 30 seconds like he drove the last 30 seconds, that would have been huge. Would have been absolutely enormous. He was very, very impressive.
And keep in mind, he said he was having clutch issues, so you got to imagine he's getting a strong left leg right now. He's really working it out.
That was very smart move. I really like that piece where he comes out, uses the city side and riverside bumpers before he loops back. Okay, PIOTR WIECEK. He was the majestic finish in the quarterfinals. He put it in for all 500,000 points in the SO Mobile finish box. Can he do the same again now? He's got an extra 10 seconds to play with, and he needs a big score. He's got to be 5.337 million, just set by Gaz White. If he can do that, then he's guaranteed a spot in the finals.
All right, here we go. PIOTR WIECEK, smelling of Drift Masters and smelling of Poland because he just got off the jet. Coming from there, Drift Masters on the door, Falcon tires on the corners, coming in to that Pierhead wall ride. Can he hit all 6? Oh, there it is, 1.29. Approaching the Undertaker, and he dives right in the 5-hole.
His tires are channeling Edvard Munch's finest work at the moment. You can hear the scream.
Running with the devil here.
What did we say earlier? It sounds like 10,000 tortured souls being released from hell.
All right, so just about a minute left, 1.84.
He's really lacking the combos.
Yeah, so there it is. You see him coming to a halt, maybe recalibrating. And yeah, there it is, missing another combo. Only at that 2 million mark. That is not even, he's just about the halfway point of what his competitors have. 36 seconds left past the yellow submarine. Under the undertaker, I don't know if that's the wise approach here. I think he needs to head back to the wall ride and try to gain some more points.
10 seconds and 400,000 points. This is where it's going to pay. He did this really, really well last time.
Listen for the dings, listen for that combo.
Yeah, jumped straight up. He got the 500,000 out of that. Can he get all of these?
13 seconds, 11. I don't think there's going to be enough time.
I don't know if he can get to the ultra proximity center.
5, 4, he needs 1 second or more.
Oh, only one on there.
Yeah. So it looks like PIOTR will not be advancing on because he is below both of the 5 million scores. He didn't even get into the 4 millions. Peter WIECEK.
3 drivers down. That means Gaz Whiter is guaranteed a place in the final. It may not be Mad Mike, but New Zealand is represented in the final. That's where this concept for an event originated. Mad Mike Whiddett held the first 2 editions in Auckland in New Zealand. This is the first time the event's been held in the Northern Hemisphere. But the New Zealand presence will be felt in the final by Gaz White. The only question left to answer is who's going to be joining him. We know it's not Peter WIECEK, but it's going to be either FREDRIC AASBA or the man who's coming up next.
Well, FORREST WANG has just delivered on all fronts. 5.5 million most recently on his other run, on his previous run to this, then 4.864 on his qualifying run. And then FORREST WANG didn't start out so strong with a 2.4, but is the guy to really watch here. FORREST WANG is our next and final driver of the top 4. Third place will be decided by the lower 2 scores. So third place is decided by scores. So Peter WIECEK waits in the wings to find out how FORREST WANG does. He might have a 3rd place podium. All signs are saying FORREST WANG is going to the finals, just given his progression throughout today.
Don't curse him.
All right, so as you said, Gaz Whiter, he will be on the box, or sorry, yeah, he will be on the box.
Oh,
it's going to be first or second. Yeah, guaranteed to be on the box.
You've got to say as well, I think FREDRIC AASBA is guaranteed to be on the podium. It's just what colour he's going to end up with, because he's beaten Peter WIECEK there. So, okay, FORREST WANG lights it up in the tunnel and prepares to come out for the 3rd time. Is he as consistent as he looks? Let's find out. He gets that thing so sideways, lines it up for the angle grinder. 350,000 points, 450,000 by the first turn. And the ultra proximity sensor.
Keep in mind, he has 10 more seconds. 10 more seconds, and if he had that extra 10 seconds in that last run, 1.5 million already. If he had that extra 10 seconds, he potentially would have had another 500,000. FORREST WANG, he says, changing up his program and his concept from earlier today into that previous run. Which way is he going to adhere to? Earlier in the day or most recently his last run?
A lot of people struggling to make the Undertaker pay. He doesn't waste too much time there. He gets straight down to George's dock.
Listen for the dings. He hits that 3-time combo, goes for it once again, throws the back end, and there it is, the 400,000 combo. For FORREST WANG, he's going to go at it again. Remember, he can only get that combo twice, but if he hits the 400,000 again, he is allowed that, and he gets that 3-time combo once again.
I'm surprised he stayed there so long. He was blind by the 3rd pass. He couldn't see anything for the smoke.
Well, he's going to just throw that Big Country Labs, the Big Country Lab wing and that Super Duke body kit into that wall and continue on. Right now, about to hit that 4 million mark. As again, he needs to at least get 5.1 million. Wow.
Angle grinder again.
He needs 5.1 million in order to get into the finals.
And he got the combo again through the pier head wall ride, so he's up onto the 5 mil, but he still needs another 100,000. He's almost there, 50,000 short.
Got 10 seconds left. And it looks like just barely. Again, 5.212 edging out a 5.157 unofficially. So Gaz Whiter with a 5.337. AASBA with a 5.157, and let's go to the scores. FORREST WANG, yes, with a 5.212. So Gaz Whiter and FORREST WANG locking in that #1 and #2 spot there, Ed. Just barely edging him out. And we talked about that 10 seconds. He could have clip some more time, and he didn't get that 500,000 points.
So close. So Peter WIECEK in 4th position. FREDRIC AASBA is guaranteed 3rd place on the podium, but 1st and 2nd will be decided between the Hawaiian FORREST WANG and the New Zealander Gaz Whiter. They're going to go in, put a new set of tyres on, and then they'll be back out to contest the final here at Red Bull Drift Shifters 2018. I can see some hoods going up. Looks like there might be a little bit of drizzle out there. So this course just starting to slick up a little bit. Could be changing conditions.
So truth be told, we are going to see an all diverse podium. We have some rookies coming here to Drift Shifters, both FORREST WANG and FREDRIC AASBA. Gaz Whiter has seen Drift Shifters competition, but he's never seen the podium. So all brand new podium finishers, as AASBA will grab that 3rd place spot. Who gets the win? We're about to find out. You can see all hands on deck, changing out those big lipped signature rims of FORREST WANG, the 3-piece wheels. But looking back all the way to 2012, Matt Powers, I know Powers Instagrammed about it earlier. He loved the event in 2012. He got the win. He holds the highest scores in both rounds.
Best name in drifting as well.
Matt Powers, it is a good one. It is a good one. He's a great guy. As well as Samuel Bennett. He got 2nd place in that big Dodge, who eventually got purchased by Daigo Saito, actually, at that event.
Really?
Fanga Dan Woolhouse, he grabbed 3rd place at 2012. And then the 2014 event, just 4 years ago, Mad Mike, he won the event. Chris Forsberg, who's not here this weekend, got 2nd, and Fanga Dan Woolhouse got 3rd. So AASBA's guaranteed 3rd. You can see the Kiwis helping out their fellow countrymen. Mad Mike talking to Gaz.
Mad Mike will have been dissecting this all day. He knows exactly what's going on. So they're talking strategy right now. He's like, make sure you get it flatter. That is where FORREST is. FORREST is making money on that first turn.
Yeah.
He comes out, as soon as he clocks the start gate, then he's sideways, and then he flicks it back. He's coming through there, nearly 90 degrees to that angle grinder. It's perfect.
And Gaz is making it look good. According to those scores that we saw earlier, Gaz with that 5.3, Wang with that 5.5, and truth be told, I think Wang really needs to get in his own head and figure out where is he going to score the most points, because truth be told, I think he got more points on his previous grade 8 battle against the course versus his top 4 battle, and he had 10 seconds, so still leaving a lot of opportunity out there.
Look at this, FORREST just cooling the radiator down.
No, he's putting the champagne on ice. All right, so Ed, awesome time out here, man. And, you know, this is the finals. We're about to find out who wins at the 3rd ever installment of Red Bull Drift Shifters. First time outside of New Zealand, first time here in Europe, and it's pretty awesome to see these guys in the progression of the sport. What do you make of the vehicles from 2012 to 14 to now?
Oh, the power. And well, that's the interesting part. We're seeing that power, but as you said, Daigo Sato was up in the Dodge. I think he was over 1,000 horsepower then. But certainly the control, some of the... what I've been most impressed by today, actually, is the speed with which FREDRIC AASBA has attacked everything, but the precision he's maintained. That has been phenomenal. A lot of times you start to see people knowing that they need to get the points. They'll slow the cars down and really bump them through the turns. He hasn't backed off at all.
Yeah.
That for me has been one of the highlights. And a shame we won't see him in the finals, but I mean, Gaz Whiter's driven beautifully today.
Yeah, Gaz, he talked about his clutch issues. This is it. It's only got to last one more run, and he's going to find out the result. Fix it tomorrow. Let's party tonight. Well, depending on who's buying the drinks one way or the other, the bar tab, who's going on who. But overall, you can see the carnival rides off in the distance, and the liver, not liver. So
yeah, the Royal Liver building. That is one of the 3 graces along the front here. There's, I think it's got the most listed buildings of any city outside London. Liverpool has. Yeah, well, it's a World Heritage Site, so it's an UNESCO World Heritage Site. You can't do anything here, which puts it on a par. It has the same listing globally as the Taj Mahal and the Great Wall of China.
That's awesome. Love that.
Yep.
So it's definitely an iconic backdrop for us to have this round of Red Bull Drift Shifters 2018. So you ready to go get a tattoo after this as well? We go to Forever True just up the street, go see my boy Richie. I got a yellow submarine. I got You Are Here on my knee. I'm
thinking about getting a 3-eyed pineapple vomiting.
I like it.
Okay, we can go down to the pits now, though, where 3rd place is decided. Caroline de Moraes is with FREDRIC AASBA.
Frederic, you started off the day with issues with your car. I was getting worried, but your smile carried on, and now you're finishing on the podium.
I mean, oh my, I'm beyond ecstatic right now. This is what dreams are made of. We came here, we've been changing not one diff, not two diffs, but 3 diffs in this car today, and the guys have been absolutely crushing it. And you know, to be lined up here with these guys and to take part in Mad Mike's brainchild event, it's been absolutely beyond amazing.
Have you enjoyed the course? Because every time you were getting those donuts in, I mean, the sounds coming out of your car was worrying, but the smile carries on. I mean, have you enjoyed it?
I've had so much fun. I'm sure my tuner isn't as happy as I'm bouncing off the limiter the entire track, but it's such an extraordinary feeling driving through the streets of Liverpool here on the dock with just the track edges lined with people. It's absolutely amazing, and I'd love to do this again tomorrow, and then on Monday, and then on Tuesday. I mean, it's probably the craziest event I've ever done.
When you're in the car, can you hear the crowds? Like, what are you focusing on?
What I can mostly hear would be the limiter. I can't hear much beyond that, but I can see them. I can see them screaming and shouting, and as soon as you get into that box at the end, you know immediately if you had a good score or not, because if you did, people are just screaming and shouting. And after our initial hurdles today, I believe we were the first team to put down a 5 million point run, and everyone would just, you know, pull their hair out. So it's been an amazing day. Hats off to Forrest and Gas for just putting on stellar runs all day. And now I'm going to go watch the final and enjoy and soak up the atmosphere here.
Well, just before you do, I have to ask you, you didn't get a practice run, so which part of the course was the most challenging?
All of it. You know, it's really tight, and I got maybe 13 seconds in for my first practice run, and I realized, wow, this place is tight. So it was really hard to figure out everything. Luckily, I've had a great team. I had friends, you know, helping me out, dialing me in on that line, trying to learn from what these other guys are doing. And, you know, when you have the best drivers in the world, you have your best teachers. So that was the key to getting on the podium today, trying to stay cool, even with all the car issues. And in the end, it worked out.
Well, listen, you've taken the bronze. Congratulations. Go enjoy yourself.
Thank you. Will do. Woo!
FREDRIC AASBA, ladies and gentlemen, confirmed at 3rd place. He is just a darling, isn't he? A drift driver you can take home to meet your parents.
Yeah, he definitely is. Handsome, got that ice chiseled chin, and you know, again, he's just chiseled. He carries around a hammer in his back pocket at all times. You know, due to contrary obligations or contractual obligations, we can't call him Thor, so hence the Norwegian hammer.
Okay.
And a happy belated birthday to him as well. It was his birthday yesterday, if we didn't hear that on the front end of our event here. So FREDRIC AASBA, the Norwegian hammer, coming off a victory in St. Louis at the previous round of formative competition. Now he waits to get his trophy on track. And then Gaz and Forrest Wang will have our way. So 2 more runs, 151 minute and 50 seconds allotted for each of the driver.
Well, Gaz White, the most successful D1NZ National Drifting Championship competitor ever. He's had a short sabbatical from the sport, so he's back, and it's lovely, isn't it? When you see someone do that and they come back fresh, you're like, okay, yeah, he's got the hunger. Forrest Wang is going to be up first, though. The Hawaiian runs Get Nuts, his company in Las Vegas. You said it before, really softly spoken, Jared.
He is a very soft-spoken gentleman. We talk about just his lineage and his pathway to get here. He's really progressed as a driver. I remember him back in pro and then getting into pro-am, and just the way he's driven through the years and really taken his whole program to the next level. He's really become a professional, a great spokesperson. He's picked up some great sponsors that have really supported his whole push and his style and what he evokes. You know, he wins before he shows up. He has a very faithful following. You'll see a lot of Get Nuts laboratory stuff, which is his shop that's in Vegas. So if you have a peanut allergy, I always say stay away, because he's going to get nuts and just throw it all out across the track. But usually it's Achilles Tire Smoke, Vapetasia, and NRG Innovations. He's been signature green for so long. He even has previous suits. He had the Aloha shirts on his race suit. So that just continues the kind of Aloha vibe. So
the Aloha spirit of drifting.
Yeah, he's just got a really cool, smooth style that, like I said, he wins before he shows up. But to be here for the first time ever, Red Bull Drift Shifters, I know there's a lot of fans out there that like him. Are there any Forrest Wang fans out there here in Liverpool? Yeah, there are quite a few. I told you. He's got a kind of a cult following, and right now he's going for the win here on the streets of Liverpool. A minute 50 starts now. FORREST, WANG, Bigtasia, Achilles Tire, NRG Innovation. That's chassis. There you go. You talked about it, Ed. Already almost 500,000 points, and there's the 500,000 mark. 130 left as he goes into that pier head.
One of the big scorers for him was that the ultimate proximity sensor on the way into that wall ride, and he missed it there, but still cranking. 1.6 million, and he's only 30 seconds into this round.
He has one of the highest scores with a 5.5 million. It's actually technically the highest score.
One of the few drivers to combo that truck, just cranked out the Undertaker.
This is where he really shined. This is where a lot of the drivers started really accumulating a lot. He gets the ×3 combo. Remember, he went around this 3 times. He got the 400,000, he got the 80,000 twice. He's going for it again, and I'm sure no risk it, no biscuit as he throws it in. Can he get that combo?
No, he hasn't pulled out the combo once. This has left the door open for Gaz Whiter. He's going for the Cityside and Riverside bumpers.
All right, so those overhangs, 150,000 per. Ed, he might be leaving way too many points out on the course, but Gaz has that mechanical issue that he talked about. Man.
But Gaz Whiter's been finishing strong, so let's see. He's got these 25 seconds up here. We know he can bank points up here, but he's looking for at least 2 million. Massive point scoring through the pierhead wall ride.
15 seconds left. That is a lot of time. He's going to work these sensors here. 10 seconds left. Is this enough time? He's going to hit the wall right in. Here we go.
But there's no combo left on this. He's just racking up the sensor points now.
3,
he wanted that
2,
ultimate proximity sensor.
No, he does not get into the SO Mobile 1 finish box with a second left. So that is the time he's left. No major bonus there. Potentially up to 500,000 points, but 4.75 is FORREST WANG's score.
You know what? The incredible thing is that is the lowest score we've seen from FORREST WANG all day.
Wow, really?
Yeah, his practice was low, obviously, but after that, it's been huge. So disappointment there, I think, maybe for FORREST WANG. He'll know that he could have done better, but he lost out. It was the George's Dock wall ride.
Yeah, yeah. You know what? You say. You know, he'll be a little defeated there, but he's got to hold his head high because, as you said, just throughout the day, progressing on through, he's still on the box, he's still on the podium, and just in front of a very captive audience, not only here at Liverpool, but across the world.
Okay, Gaz Whiter of New Zealand is in. You said his 2-year-old's here.
His 2-year-old's here. It was his birthday on Friday. His wife is here. Fantastic. His pops is here. You talk about him fishing.
The pride to be able to win here in front of your family.
He's stoked. All right, here we go. Gaz Whiter. This is the final run of Red Bull Drift Shifters 2018. Is a Kiwi gonna win it? Like back in 2014, 274,000 points. A little bit of a hiccup there. Could the clutch be coming into play here, Ed?
Well, he managed to crank through the angle grinder, but then he lost a little bit. Got the proximity sensor nearly perfectly.
Wow.
This is going to be huge. Yes, he's cranked out the first of the combos from the pierhead wall ride. Comes into the Undertaker. Is he going to spend as much time here? We saw him chatting very intensely with Mad Mike Whiddett.
He is really tidy around the Undertaker, but I think, okay, there it goes. Don't spend much time there, Gaz. He is sending it here down the streets of Liverpool into that George's Dock wall ride. Look at putting the bumper right on those plastic barriers.
Got the 80,000. He couldn't get the 400,000, but he comes back out to the Cityside and the Riverside bumpers. And you can hear those bang.
Technique
Now,
coming to play. He did that on his last run.
He got the 80,000 again. He couldn't get the 400,000, so he's used up both of his combos down there. But the points are racking up.
Look, 4.75. He just passed FORREST WANG's score. Looks like Gaz Whiter will be our winner here. But let's see if he can get the highest score of the event. 5.5 million is what FORREST WANG had on his previous grade 8 run. Hitting that 5 million mark. Now 5.2.
Absolutely sending it here.
6 million. That's the way to win the event here at Red Bull Drift Shifters. We talked about it, threatened it. There it is. He hasn't even hit that SO Mobile 1 finish box. There's your winner, Gaz Whiter with a
that man a round of applause. He saved the very best until last. That was an incredible run. He finished it perfectly. Yes, he dropped the points down at George's dock, but that was so clean. A masterclass in drifting from Gaz Whiter in our final run of the day.
That is the way to do it. You know, leave it all on the track, literally bumpers, shrapnel all across the track here at Liverpool. He had to beat a 4.75 of FORREST WANG, and he passed that with still 20 seconds left. He goes into that SO Mobile 1 box. He puts icing on the cake with a 6.298. Look at that, literally leaving it on the track there, Ed.
So that was George's dock, and he boxed so clever. Brilliant strategy, just cleaning up these points in between George's dock. So we can head down to the pits now. Caroline de Moraes is with Gaz Whiter.
Gaz, wow. I think clarification on your score, and Mike's too excited. Everyone is here. We're with the winner. 6.2, I think the end of, I can't remember what the score was, but it was over 6 million. Wow.
Felt good. Just the biggest rush I've had for quite some time. I think it's because I got that first, had some advice from some of the drivers and got that first angle sussed, and from there just pinned it. Yeah.
Well, you saved the best for last. Congratulations, you're the champ. Well done.
So, a change is as good as a rest. Gaz Whiter, couple of a little sabbatical out of the sport, and he's come back to it fresh-faced, and he's absolutely torn this course to pieces. Brilliant driving all day.
Yeah, it just goes to show you why he is one of the most successful New Zealand drivers. Even with a hiatus, he comes back and shows you how talented he is. Between the vehicle, loud and proud, supercharged V8, the S chassis, he's got his wife here, he's got his dad, he's got his son here, and everybody's cheering him on. So just an awesome time as throw it down to Caroline back in the pits.
Forrest, you raised the bar today. You were doing so well. I mean, incredibly well. And then I think your lowest score was actually the last one that you did there. What went wrong?
I really felt like I hit all the right points. It just didn't get me what I thought I needed, but you know, we gave it our best shot. We were out there, you know, doing what we love and getting to put on a great show for this crowd here. And I can't be more stoked to be out here. Thank you.
And did you enjoy it? Because, I mean, second place is phenomenal. How much did you love being here in Liverpool?
I love being here in Liverpool. I mean, this historic city. I mean, the weather, it managed to not rain on us, which, I mean, that's amazing right there, because it looked like it was going to rain. It said it was supposed to rain, but it didn't. So we got to, you know, put on the great show for you guys, and super stoked to be able to, you know, blow the tires off like this.
Well, congratulations. You put on a fantastic show, and you're a great competitor. Ed, Jared, it's back to you guys.
Thank you, and congratulations to FORREST WANG. The prize giving is coming up very shortly. Please hang around with us. We do have the Right Worshipful Lord Mayor of Liverpool, the Councillor Christine Banks, is going to be giving out the prizes. So it's just, we're getting a tiny bit of drizzle in now, aren't we? That is perfect timing. What was the verdict from the crowd here in Liverpool? You guys enjoy yourself? Yes, that's the kind of response we wanted.
Ed, overall, like you said, a little bit of drizzle right now, but overall, I think we scored, you know, just pending. Yesterday was a beautiful day, got a little overcast. It rained right when we showed up, but it seemed to stop, and it really didn't affect the vehicles at all.
Yeah. And the precision with which we've seen the drivers take to this course today is breathtaking. You only need to sit. We're down here in the commentary box. There's less than 7 meters between the truck and the side of the wall there. These cars are between 5.5 and 6 meters long.
Yeah, and the only carnage you saw was a few bumpers and a few bent wheels. I think Fanga Dan was the biggest incident of them all, but he got back out there, and it just, every time you have to be super tidy. And it just really shows the skills and how talented these guys are with these rocket ships. Just let me strap you to a rocket and you pilot that thing around. You know, they got a rudder out the back and just winging it through the air. There's so much talent. I'm super proud of where this is going. Red Bull Drift Shifters as a whole. Mad Mike should be proud, as well as all the drivers and competitors that competed today and showed not only their talent, but what Drift Shifters is all about.
That's the most important thing, isn't it? To understand that this is a completely new format for them, and it's not a style of driving that they're used to. So they come out here and have to drive at lower speeds, placing the car with such precision, and it's beautiful to see. And especially when you get someone like FORREST come out and really shine like that.
Yeah, I love FORREST driving, FREDRIC, I mean, all the guys. We can go through and, you know, everybody gets a participation award. You know, I mean, we live in that era, right?
It's like under fours football.
No. But the big trophies, and they're heavy. If you haven't seen them, they're massive wankles with pistons coming up. I mean, it's I don't want to say monstrosity because it's beautiful, but it's heavy. It's massive, I guess I should say.
Yeah, the prize giving crew have been working out all week just to try and make sure they got the strength to heave these things up.
There was a Rocky montage playing for the Wings girls, as well as our Lord Mayor here join us, who will be presenting the trophies. We have our trophy ceremony, our podium ceremony going down in just a little bit, but some awesome obstacles here. So signature Liverpool, from the telephone boxes to the truck to, of course, the yellow submarine and the backdrop, which some of these buildings are older than my country.
Right. Much older. Yeah. Liverpool was actually founded as a city by King John in 1207.
Wow.
So yeah, it's got some history.
Yeah. So I'm excited to be out here for Red Bull Drift Shifters, and I know Mike would, and you heard him saying he's cheering on all of his drivers and all of his friends.
Okay, we're going to get the prize giving underway now. The trophies will be presented by the Right Worshipful, the Lord Mayor of Liverpool, Councillor Christine Banks. And while everyone is here, we'd like to take this opportunity to thank the Lord Mayor, Liverpool City Council, and all of the residents, all of you here in Liverpool, for letting us put this incredible event on in such a diverse city of culture. It has been an absolute honour to hold Red Bull Drift Shifters here. Now, we're going to get the prize giving underway.
What a beautiful backdrop. Let's give out some hardware and some trophies. First off, coming to us from Norway, third place at Red Bull Drift Shifters 2018 Liverpool, FREDRIC, the Norwegian Hammer AASBA. The Right Worshipful, Lord Mayor of Liverpool, giving out. All right, now moving right along into second place here at Red Bull Drift Shifters 2018, originally from Hawaii, now residing in Las Vegas in that Vapetasia Achilles Tire Energy Innovations S chassis. It is FORREST WANG. And here it is, finally, your winner at Red Bull Drift Shifters 2018 here in Liverpool, representing New Zealand, Gaz Whiddett! And there is your final trophy. Thank you to the rightful worship, the Lord Mayor of Liverpool, Councillor Christine Banks, for carrying those heavy trophies. Hold them high, fellas. Here's your 1, 2, and 3. Gaz Whiddett, FORREST WANG, and FREDRIC AASBA.
Wow, what a day of drifting here in Liverpool. Some incredible action. Highlights for you?
Just being here in Liverpool, the electricity, the fans, working with you, Caroline, just seeing the progression of the motorsport and just the awesome builds that these guys are doing. Talent beyond measure.
We build it. We said that we were going to have it cook, go from a simmer, bring it up to a boil. We said we'd be cooking with live fire by the end of the day, and that's exactly what we did. Thank you all so much for watching. This has been Red Bull Drift Shifters 2018. This is